This has to be the most biased pick ever.
I hate it here.
I mean, they just got their ass handed to them.
I think I'm chasing the value on this game.
I like my takes how I like my woman. Hot and questionable.
I'm way better than Tyler.
What are you doing, Lewis?
I'm laying the points.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, cats, dogs, whoever you may be listening, welcome to another episode of Laying the Points. My name is Alec. I'm joined by Anthony Picano, Tyler Needleman,
How are we doing?
Louis Mangia, and
Freezing.
for the first time in this iteration, a special guest, the pod's #1 fan and our resident footy expert, Brett Croak.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, first and foremost.
Hey, we're excited to have you.
It's like having Alexi Lawless on. Straight footy all the time.
I gotta shout out Saratoga as well.
Oh, the Toga trip. That was a great time. You were in the Risa car too. You were the LTP representative for me.
That was an OG car. Jeez.
But yeah, no, with the World Cup officially underway, we've had some games under our belt, some upsets already. Argentina, what are we doing? Losing to Saudi Arabia?
That's not an upset, Alex.
That's a huge upset.
Not even
It's
that.
a huge upset.
Not even is that
Fixes
an
on.
upset. It's like one of the
Fixes
biggest
on.
upsets of all time, is it not?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
Like arguably the biggest upset of all time.
they made it a
just proves
fucking
it
holiday already. It did
just
within like
proves that-
12 hours.
Well, they said
mean-
Big Cat says games played before 6 a.m. don't count as legacy games. So Messi has nothing to worry about.
All I'm
I didn't
saying
know.
is,
I
like,
didn't know Saudi Arabia was huge on soccer in the first place. I mean, you got to be pretty like good and like well trained to beat Argentina. I feel, like that's not. It's either the fix is on or we have to start looking at Saudi Arabia as a powerhouse in the soccer industry. Brett, where do you say Saudi Arabia ranks? You put them in the
Saudi
top
Arabia,
10.
In the field of 64, or however many make the World Cup.
16.
I still
They're
don't know
top
if they're
10.
going to make it through the group. I think Mexico's a tough. I think everything went well in the other game for Argentina to still win the group because
Draw.
Poland and Mexico tied, which I think was the best because I think Argentina can beat both those two teams. I think Saudi Arabia is going to get swept. Like Saudi Arabia is, they played a good game, but I think it was I don't think they can repeat that for the whole tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if they pull out one draw, they like. I'm just trying to think conceptually. Are they in good spot if they can just keep it close in one of these games?
they just have to score. I think they just have to score to keep. I could be wrong, Brett, but from
Is
my
the aggregate
knowledge,
is the aggregate score a thing in the World Cup, or does that
No.
not matter?
Yeah,
I think it's
goal
total.
differential matters.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, the
okay.
aggregate score, that's the other thing that loses.
that's the Champions League.
Oh, it's Champions League. Okay,
Yeah, Champions League. That's aggregate score.
gotcha.
Wait, did
But-
you guys see Lewandowski's PK save?
Yeah, that was
I was shitting
unlucky.
myself.
That was bad. That was bad.
Never mind. I was about to say something
Ochoa,
so
the
bad.
Mexican goalie, is ridiculous when it comes to the World Cup. He's like 40 years old and is kind of pretty washed, but then turns up every time for the World Cup. It's crazy.
Stands on his head.
Yeah,
Absolute beast.
He
and
literally
also
on that save stood on his head.
the one thing that we got to talk about is England. I was a little nervous going into this tournament, and I know they only played Iran.
They played
and
fucking
what everyone-
Iran.
But they got the job done so well, convincingly. I think France played Australia today, and I thought they were looking very good. The second half and but they had a shaky start. It's England from the second they started to the second it ended was just lights out, and I was like, wow,
Wire to wire, mate. Wire to wire.
Mhm.
it was just the chemistry was there.
English accent.
I'm just watching this game and thinking they got something going.
Bloody
here.
hell. Bloody hell. That's a good
Boy,
team.
hell.
Harry
But-
Kane's getting an
Thank-
MRI though on his ankle. He's hurt.
Is he?
Apparently.
Why? Did he really?
He took a hard tackle apparently in the first game. They're doing an MRI to see what's up. But
He's
I mean,
probably
it
fine.
might be nothing. But
Thank God Brett
Okay.
said that because I look like a genius after his little analogy.
Wait, what was your prediction?
Oh, I think England's gonna take the table. I think they're gonna
England
roll.
sucks. They're gonna lose
I
on
wanna see-
Friday.
I want to watch Brazil play, but because they're the other Argentina, Brazil, and England were my three top dogs. Argentina, I know they can turn around, but they're still kind of like, will they? Like, I mean, Saudi Arabia, that's kind of shaky to watch them play. And then Brazil hasn't played, so I got to wait to see them. But England is looking filthy.
I
Like,
love that.
Yeah, everything's
Can
looking
we-
good for them.
Well,
Can we
like
talk about the United States a little bit?
Brett, you might not know
Yes.
this about a running theme of the pod, but it's about teams that play with heavy hearts. And Bacano says England is playing
Heavy
with heavy
hearts.
hearts this World Cup.
The queen.
Yeah.
The queen.
The queen.
All hail the
Queen.
God
I'll
save
have the
the
queen.
king.
Yeah, I mean,
All hail.
that is they got a little extra emotion behind it. That would make sense for them to win the World Cup the same year, honestly. Talking about the USA though, because people are always like, "Oh, you don't like the USA? Like, why don't you root for them?" It's like, no, I like them. Like,
It's your boy,
they're-
Pulisic.
yeah, like I like USA. Like, so, but they just are way below the level of England, so it's like tough to root for them sometimes.
I think they
That's why
tie
England-
England, if I'm being honest.
They got ref
You know-
balled against whoever the fuck Wales.
Wales.
That was a
Yeah.
tough game to watch.
I think that was a huge mistake by USA to lose those 2 points. Like, I think they would have been in such a good position if they had won that game, but now it's
Oh,
like,
I won the not won. What am I saying? I watched the game and the announcers were saying like they didn't do a percentage, but they were just like people that win the first game of the
Right.
group stage
Yeah.
are like more than likely to advance.
yeah,
In that game one, obviously it's better than losing, but it's like how are you losing that game?
I mean, it's gonna
Yeah.
come down to like goal
who
differential
beats
at this
Iran
point.
more? Yeah,
Exactly.
like, who's
Or who
gonna-
doesn't get killed by England.
yeah. And I mean, if USA does beat England, it's gonna be like similar to 2010. They played in the World Cup. England was the far better team, and like USA just like got like such like a whiff of a goal, and like it went in, and like they tied 1-1. That's like the only way I'd see like USA somehow tying is like if like England just like completely shits the bed and like I don't even know someone like accidentally gets an own goal or something like that. But like I don't know. I was watching USA play against England and like they're just like not creative, and then England it just seems like they're like playing like just like putting the people in like a string.
Hey, I'm no scout, but I'm saying that Tyler Adams kid, the captain of the United States team, he's a
good.
dog. He's a dog.
Yeah.
They have some beasts out there.
I would say like you can like tell though like there's a few players who are like light years ahead of like other players on the team. It's like Pulisic feels like he's like on like a league of his own, like in the like going up. And like once he passes it, it's like, all right, well there goes that one. And then same with Tyler Adams. Same with
He's
Tyler
flying.
Adams. It's like those two have the ball. And I'm like, okay, but once they pass it, I'm like, all right, here we go.
It's over. They need fuck. I can't remember what they gave him for a nickname, but it was like the Hoboken Messi of Brendan Aronson or Ron, whatever the fuck his name is. When they subbed him in, he's like, and here comes the Hoboken. It was something compared like I don't know. They were calling him Messi from Jersey, and it was wild because I mean he's a fucking sub for the U.S. team. How can you compare him to fucking Messi? But I don't know.
Yeah, he's like a good young player, but he's still like so young. I feel like it's gonna be tough for him to make a name. Same with there's another good American, but he didn't come in. I don't know what happened to him. He's like from the German league.
Oh, is it Joe
Rank.
Scally?
No, it's like Giorania.
Oh yeah, I saw something about his parents. Weren't his parents like both on the men's and the women's national team?
Yeah, he's
Bred
might be, like,
the
second-
elite.
Yeah, he's gonna be up there with Pulisic. Like he's on like the second best team in the German league.
Oh, he's in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, he's in Bundesliga. He plays for Dortmund.
Bundesliga.
The Bundesliga. He played with Dortmund. Yes, that's what Pulisic played before.
But now he's a Chelsea bum.
Yeah. No, the reason why I said Joe Scally is because Joe Scally is a Long Island boy.
Yeah, what do you guys think of the
Just
whole
Scout.
Ronaldo scenario? Everything
R.I.P.
coming out.
What,
New
what,
York
happened on,
FC.
what happened on that whole thing?
Yeah, can you explain to us what happened? Because I don't think any of us have a clue what happened. I think I do, but I want you to
I
explain.
like vaguely.
So like it was kind of just the past like 2 seasons. It's just been in and out with like coaches. Like there's been like 4 coaches at Man United in the past like this season. That's only halfway through, and last season. So it's like just a lot of turnover, and like none of them are like the most highly regarded like legend. Like it's not like a legendary coach coming in. So like Ronaldo kind of has a little more like he's just like bigger than him, I guess I'd say. And like all of them would try and like bench him after having like an unbelievable season, and Man United just doing terrible. And then like they would like try and have him warm up in like the 80th minute of like the past like this whole season, like to have him like warm up and like get like loose at like the 80th minute or like something, or like, and he's like, all right, well, like I don't want to be like a sub, like I'd rather just like not, like I want to start. And
Fucking Ronaldo.
I mean, yeah. Wait a minute. Isn't this Cristiano Ronaldo like one of the best soccer players of all time? Why is he coming off the bench in the 80th minute? I'd be
Yeah, they're
fucking
doing-
pissed off too if I was there.
and they're doing
Because he's
garbage.
like he's getting the Zlatan treatment.
They're doing garbage. So
What the fuck?
I don't agree with the way he went about it though. So what he did is like his way of going out. Everyone assumes is right as he left Manchester to go to like the World Cup. He drops an interview with Piers Morgan, this news guy in England.
I know Piers Morgan.
Yeah, okay. So he basically just airs out Man United on everything, which not really the best way to go about it. Like he kind of cut off all ties. He was just like, yeah, these coaches like wanted me out. The ownership didn't want me. Like it was disrespectful for my family. Like he said he had to leave training camp early because like a family like issue, and like the team didn't believe him, and like we're mad at him for leaving. Then he even like was like, it's crazy because like, you know how he went. Obviously, he started at Man United, went to Real Madrid. Like Real Madrid had such a nice like facility, like gyms and just like technology. I don't know, like fitness technology, whatever they use. And same with Juventus when he went to there. And then he comes back to Man United last year or 2 years ago. And he said it was the same exact gym and everything. Same food, like same like recipes, like same everything from when he was like first left. Which
No
kind of
innovation.
funny to yeah, like that's like pretty like Man United was probably not happy about that one. But it's kind of crazy to think about, like, I mean, Tyler, your boy Fergie, what happened ever since he left?
Sir Alex, I know.
They haven't even upgraded the weight rack since then. Like, come on, am I right? Like, the club's worth like $4 billion. Like, why are they treating you like that?
Again, I'm not a big soccer guy. When I saw that he went back to Man United, I was just like, why? Like, why would he go back there? Like,
Because of Fergie, is
I know,
what
but
he said.
he's been gone.
Oh yeah,
Has he
in
not?
the interview. No, in the interview, he also mentioned. Good thing you brought that up. He was like Manchester City wanted him, but like then Man United was kind of like, oh, what the fuck? Like, no, we want him because like, he can't go back to a rival. And then I guess like Fergie gave him a call and was like, I don't know, talked him into going back to United.
So it all comes
actually
back.
it.
So
All
it all
right,
comes
bro.
back down to Fergie.
All right.
Yeah.
So Fergie's a prick.
All right, this is what I'm going to say now. How do you feel about Bacano saying that England got embarrassed on home soil, manhandled on home soil? Sorry,
Because they did.
So,
how do you feel about that?
It was home soil, and they did
Home
lose.
soil.
But a manhandling was a bit aggressive. They lost in pens.
Yeah, but they were
it
winning that
doesn't
game.
sound like a manhandle to me.
I asked Bacano. Bacano
And
goes.
England was winning the whole game.
They gave up a 90th minute goal. They got manhandled. I go, how does that make any sense?
It was actually the most
You know what a
heartbreaking game
manhandle?
to
A manhandle
watch.
is when you lose like 4-0 and the time of possession
Yeah.
is like 95-5. That's a
Yeah.
manhandle.
They manhandled them.
All right, and then lastly, before
And Brett knows if Italy was in the World Cup, they'd be the favorite because of
yeah,
Gigi
why are they
Buffon.
not in the World Cup? I was actually just looking at that they
Because they lost to
It is-
Tanzania.
Yeah.
There's some things I
I-
don't get about the World Cup. It's a freaking World Cup. There should be certain
Yeah.
places that no matter what are like an auto bid. You know what I mean?
No,
No,
you just
I-
got to be
like
good.
Italy.
I
Like
agree.
Italy,
Italy
auto
should have
bid.
gotten. Italy should have got. I mean,
Let's
they
be
should win
honest.
the Euro. The Euro should be an
United
auto
States of
bid.
America. United States of America should always be an auto bid. Should it not be? Like, am I crazy?
Didn't make
for
it last
saying
time.
that?
I
didn't
agree.
They?
They
I
didn't
agree.
make it last time, and I think
Yeah,
that's
because they suck.
kind of ridiculous. They do suck, but it doesn't matter.
No,
How
it's
do you-
about the
how do you not
best.
make
It's
it?
not about our fucking country. It's about everybody. I
I
want
understand.
fucking
FIFA
doesn't care
Cameroon to
about
make
money.
it.
Guess what?
Cameroon
It's
is
also
better
about-
than the U.S.
it's
Then
also
put
about money.
Cameroon in the fucking cup.
It's also about money. So you need the United
Cameroon's
States.
got plenty.
All right,
Brett,
Brett, give us your top three to win it all. Bacano, you repeat your top three because I don't remember, and then let's
I have
move
two.
on. Let's
Belgium.
move on to our football because
All right.
that's what really matters is
True.
what's going to happen
Okay.
rivalry week.
The American football. I'm just
All right.
kidding.
You know what? I think it will be a fine. I'm just going to give you the finals. I think it's going to be England and Brazil in the finals. And I think England will win.
Homer pick. Doesn't
Is
count.
that now question? Just because we have one of the more biased people on this pod, is that a biased pick?
A heavily
What?
biased pick?
Who
It's like
is the-
taking a
who is the
minus
biased
30
person?
money line.
Is that a
So
is
going-
is that
Going
an
into the
incredibly
World Cup, going
What?
into the World Cup, I had like legit 3 days ago. I had Brazil. I mean, I had England, Argentina, and I had Argentina winning. But now I don't think Argentina is even going to make it to the finals because I don't think they're going to beat Brazil. I think Brazil's going to beat them, and I think England will beat Brazil.
All right,
Taking
then
South
listen,
Korea
root-
to the
I'll root for your
moon.
boys. I'll root for your
Just
boys.
like that. Just like that. England over Brazil. I'm writing that down.
All right, now
It
Bacano,
is-
what's your
Actually,
matchup?
Flip
I
it.
don't have a specific matchup. I have two teams that are going to win. And it's
No, I want
either
to
gonna
hear
be-
your specific matchup.
Well, specific matchups. It's probably going to be England, Brazil, and England's going to win. And then my sleeper team is Belgium because Eden Hazard and Kevin De Bruyne are and Courtois are my three favorite players. Wait, Brett, I have a stat for you for your Argentina pick. Last time a big team like that lost to a team like Saudi Arabia, not Saudi Arabia, a team like Saudi Arabia, it was Spain in 2010, and they ended up winning the World Cup.
Oof.
Ooh. Messi revenge tour after that first
Yeah,
game.
so you can
Could've
argue
had two
Messi
goals.
revenge story, but as a Ronaldo fan or Ronaldo king, and the person that people think I'm Ronaldo, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. One last fun
Okay,
fact
go.
about Belgium. You know that Courtois has stolen De Bruyne's wife.
Are they
That's why they
teammates?
should. That's why they should win.
Yes.
Nice.
That-
Nice.
that's
That's
why
not
they
going to
should
cause
win.
any problems.
That's why they should
He
win.
wheeled his wife?
Like a few years, like it's been like 5 years now.
You
Were
think
they
they're
like
boys?
broken up or was it like an
Yeah.
affair?
I don't know actually.
It's electric.
All right, here are my two things. That stat you said, Bacano, reminds me a lot of a stat that we saw just the other day that the Cowboys, last time they played the
Don't say that.
Giants, they won the Super Bowl.
But
And last
that's
time
how
they
I
played
play
the Giants on
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, they won the Super Bowl. That's what that stat reminded me of.
So I guess
You know,
if
yeah.
Argentina wins the World Cup,
So you're saying we should
hammer
lay
Cowboys to win the
we
Super
should
Bowl.
lay Argentina and Cowboy to win it all type of lay?
Listen, if it's a fade, I think we should do the opposite.
Mhm.
But honestly, we may have to. We may just have to.
I like that. And then number two, isn't Messi like known as like the biggest choke artist like on the big like of all time?
Yeah, he's choked.
right? Like, isn't he
Corny.
like the best, like one of the best soccer players of all time, but also known as like the probably the biggest choke artist of all time?
He is
Yeah.
he is elite. He
I've heard
is
this before.
elite in the
I've heard that
Champions League.
before.
But
And
he's
I don't
also
even
the
know
biggest-
soccer. I don't even
No,
know
really.
soccer, and I know that about Messi. I don't even
That
know
he's-
soccer. I know
that he's the biggest choke artist of all time.
Yeah, he's a choke. He's a choke. He's a choke.
Yeah, I heard he's a consistent choke.
He's a joke, especially in the World Cup. That's what I know. He's a choke artist.
When he has his head down and then his head like this, like shaking his head, like that's how you know he sucks, and that's how you know he lost.
He's down
But,
bad in that moment.
Yeah, but let's get into some football, boys. Let's get into some football. I'll start it
Everybody
off.
else
All right,
okay?
fellas.
Let's start it off.
Brett,
Brandon,
we
Brett,
appreciate it.
we
Yeah,
appreciate
we do.
Appreciate
We
it.
appreciate the
England.
footy insight. I wasn't sure if you were staying or not.
No,
Yeah.
no, I gotta cook some chicken.
Fair
Straight
enough.
out of England. Thank you, Brett. Straight out of
Hey,
England.
Thank
bro.
you, Brett.
All right. See you, Brett.
All right, let's get into some
was
college
electric.
football. That was electric.
Are we doing?
I went-
Do you guys want to do Thanksgiving special first, or do we want to
Yes.
just go
Nah.
straight college?
No, do the Thanksgiving special quick.
Okay, then Alec, you gotta cut that.
No, I'm not cutting
No,
shit.
Yeah, I'll start.
All right.
First game. First game, Lions, Bills. Over under. What's over under? It's like 54.
54.
And then
It's very high.
-9,
It is very high.
9.5.
Yeah, so I actually have a pick in this.
Is it 9? Is it 9.5 or 10?
I'm seeing it on ESPN as 9.5. I don't
That's
know.
what
All
I
right,
was
we'll go with 9.5.
I also
We'll go
saw
with
it at
9.5.
8.5 earlier on FanDuel. So
Yeah.
So we'll middle it at 9.5.
deal.
So-
I also
what's
saw it at
funny-
9.5.
What's funny is I didn't do any research on this year, but I'm pretty sure every year the Lions always play a low scoring game at noon.
It sucks every year. It's
Yeah,
awful.
but believe it or not, I'm going to the Overs Club this year.
I like it.
Lions are home like they always are. This is a new Lions team. They're home. They're coming off a big win against the G-Men. Putting up what 33 points against the G-Men.
31.
31 points against the G-Men. Give me the over.
I
Just
also
the
have
over?
play in this game. 54.
No, I said just the over. You didn't want.
Oh,
That's the
sorry.
only play. That's my only play is the over.
I also have a play. Goes back to a stat we talked about a lot. Teams who did cover versus teams who didn't cover the prior week. Detroit covered. Buffalo did not. Give
Buffalo
me
covered?
Buffalo. No, they did not.
No,
They got
did
yeah.
not.
backdoored? Holy crap! They got
Coulda-
backdoored.
Yeah, they got back.
Yeah, Amari Cooper.
I had the 8.5.
Oh, the
Peoples.
People's Jones. Yeah.
I had the 8.5. They lost by 8. So in my head, in my book, this is a team who covered versus a team who didn't. And I just think Buffalo is. This doesn't need to be said. Obviously, like they're 100 times better than Detroit. And look, I saw Detroit last week. Good football team. You know, they play like their head coach. He's a
They're
loud,
hot.
tough guy. They're hot. I think they're running into trouble here. I think they're running into trouble. Buffalo.
Yeah,
by
this could
nine.
be a big time
Buffalo by Yeah.
national television win by 40. Like they did. Didn't they played last year at night? Didn't they win by a shitload too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buffalo by
Josh
9.
Allen
Yeah.
was eating the turkey. Josh Allen, exactly.
I also agree with Lou. Buffalo by a million. They need
Yeah.
to get. They need a big game. Like they this is a big game for them. National stage. I actually love Buffalo.
And that's why I love the over because Buffalo.
And they've been in
Buffalo could score
Detroit
30.
for 10 days, whatever now, 7 days
Yeah.
now since the storm or whatever, since it got moved down.
It's in.
Not 10.
It's in
not
Detroit
10 days.
though.
That's an exaggeration. Yeah, no, I'm just saying they've been in Detroit since.
Oh,
Yeah, they stayed in
I'm
Detroit.
guessing Saturday or
Gotcha.
whatever. So they'll have been there for a week. So
Yeah.
or whatever. I like Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm taking just a teaser. I've got a can't lose parlay of all of a spread and a total in every game. So for this game, I'm taking Bills minus the 8.5 and the under 53.5. Yeah, like you said, Tyler, Lions just tend to have some shitty games to start the Thanksgiving slate. And I mean, primetime unders have been hot all year. So I think 53 is a lot. I could easily see Bills taking this one like 31-7, and that's it. Because their defense is good. I mean, they're not an elite defense because they're banged up, but they can definitely hold their own against fucking Jared Goff. So yeah, those are my 2 picks for this game. Plus 260, you want to lay them.
It's just like, dude, Amari Cooper had his best game of the year last year against this Buffalo D. You know?
Amari
Mine-
Cooper's been balling like low
he
heat
has
all
been, believe
year.
me. He has been. But I don't know. It's the Lions at home. They're putting up points every game at home. I expect both teams to put up points and give us a little bit of maybe a little Houston Texans, Mark Fuller 3 touchdowns on Thanksgiving type vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a lot of points that game, if I'm not mistaken. You know, the problem is they always play the Bears, and those games fucking suck.
True. Yeah.
True.
No Bears this
True.
year. Next
No.
game is the boys and the G-men. Anybody?
Oh,
I think it's Cowboys 8.5 and the over/under is 44.5.
I'm seeing 9 or 10 now. 9 or 10.
Yeah,
on the
Yeah,
Giants.
I think
it's
it-
at 9.
I might have gotten
9.5,
generous
10.
line because I was taking like parlays on FanDuel.
Yeah, it
so-
says 9.5. It says 9.5. We'll call it 9.5.
All right.
I guess I'll start us off here being,
The
this
G-men.
is the Giant game. Let's talk about the Giants for a second.
It's a good run.
I am really debating on whether to take the Giants in this game, but I think the season could be teetering here. After a 7-2 start, you got to go to Dallas. Obviously on Thursday, that's tough. Let's say you're now 7-4. You got to come home and play the Commanders, who all of a sudden are not a bad football team. Let's just say you lose that game. Let's just say. Then you got to play the Eagles at home. You got to play the Eagles at home after that. And then you get to go to Washington after that. And in that game, in between the game where we play Washington, Eagles, Washington has a bye. So they play the Giants, have a bye, and then play the Giants again. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before, but now it's just working out, perfectly that the Giants really need to win. But if they lose the game on Thursday, the Giants really need to win both of those games. The team has basically 3 weeks to play the Giants, to prepare for the Giants. Like that is, the offense is already pretty fucking easy to stop. I mean, put 9 guys in the box and make Isaiah Hodgins or Kenny Galladay or Darius Slayton beat you, which just doesn't happen often. So that's why Saquon had 20 rushing yards on 15 carries against the Lions. I mean, what are you supposed to do? They have 9 people in the box. You can't. 8 people in the box every play. You can't run the ball. With all that being said, Brian Daboll's dumbest decision of the year, putting Adoree Jackson back on punt return for what, 5 yards on a return? I haven't seen a Giants punt return go for longer than 20 yards in maybe my entire life. And maybe my entire they know they never have a good punt returner, a kick returner. You get 5-10 yards and you go down, that's it. Why the fuck is our, I don't know, second or third most important defensive player returning?
I would say your first.
I would say Dexter Lawrence, and then you could argue Leonard Williams, Adoree Jackson. Doesn't really matter. Top three importance on the defense. Why is he returning a punt for 5 yards? Because now he has an MCL sprain and he's out for at least a month. That is mind-boggling stupid. That's something Joe Judge would have done, or one of those assholes would have done. Not you, Dayball. Not you. You're better than that. I'm disappointed. That should never fucking happen. Moving on to the game, because I don't want to talk anymore about the Giants' injuries. This game is personal. At least for me. At least for me, this game is personal. You got all this Odell shit going on. You got all the injuries going on. You haven't beat Dak in God knows how fucking long. You're coming off a bad loss. The Cowboys are coming off a blowout. This game, it seems personal. It seems very personal. It's a division matchup. Everyone and their mother is going to be betting the Cowboys on Sunday because I want to bet on Thursday. I want to bet the Cowboys. I'm taking the Giants plus 9.5. I'm locking it in.
That is so predictable.
I really don't hate
have
it.
a reason? Do I really have a reason? No. And that's the reason. Because I can't find a reason to bet on the Giants. That's why I'm betting on them.
I don't hate it. I was going back and forth with what I wanted to take. but I just feel like the Cowboys' defense is so fucking good.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
And like
It's so good.
the Giants' offense is just one dimensional. So you don't have talent out there to kind of throw them off.
How are you?
Like the Bears
Wandell
did.
Robinson. But
Oh,
Robinson, first
ACL.
first 100 receiving yard game of his career. Great. Tore his ACL. I mean, what the fuck? What goes on in that life?
Dude, it's
I
a
don't
fucking
understand.
turf.
I don't
That's why you
understand.
guys are getting new turf. But yeah, I'm gonna take Cowboys points. I'm also taking the under in this game. Just it could end up being like the fucking Vikings game. The Cowboys win 34-1, 34-3. I mean, like,
Yep. It could easily be like that. It could easily be like that.
I don't know.
Tyler,
Like,
you can go.
I think if you're betting the Cowboys, you take like an alt spread minus 20, minus 20 and a half, because they could win this game by
They
4 or
could.
5 touchdowns easily. I mean, easily win this game by 4 or 5 touchdowns. I'm done.
I have nothing. I'm not taking anything in this game. I did say on the pod though last week that I was all over Dallas over in Minnesota. Did I not? All over it.
You did, yeah, you were.
Yeah,
Trap
Minnesota
game. Trap
fucking
game.
sucks.
It was one of the most obvious trap games.
You know why?
I've seen in the NFL this year.
It was a 4:00 game.
That did play a pretty major part, but just everything spoke trap. But again, that has nothing to do with anything. I'm not taking anything in this game. I want no part of it.
Everyone kind of knows where I'm fading. I'm kind of fading towards Lou's alternate spread right there. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna say my piece before we move on to the last and final game. How about them? How about
Cowboys.
them? Come on, boy. Come on.
Yeah, I love them.
How about
I cannot wait to get my Odell jersey. I'm buying 2. I'm buying a double X for me, and I'm buying an XL for Lou. And we're gonna watch the game together. We're gonna watch in the Super Bowl, and it's gonna be amazing. So,
Lou has always wanted an Odell Cowboys jersey.
yeah, that's one of his favorite
Seriously.
players. So I'm gonna get him. That's his Christmas gift from Santa. Santa being me. And to you, Lou, it was a great run. Clap it up.
It was.
And let's talk about the Patriots and Vikings.
I'm ready.
There's one pick that has to be made here, and everybody knows what it is.
I like the Pats. I think it's death taxes, and Bill Belichick doesn't lose on holidays. So
he doesn't lose on holiday, he doesn't lose on prime time, and he doesn't lose to fucking Kirk Cousins in goddamn prime time.
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins on primetime games speaks for itself.
Yeah, I do hate that it has to be the late o'clock game, not an 8 o'clock, the late o'clock.
Late o'clock.
I have a stat.
I do hate that because I think I'm rooting
When
for
you're
the
ready.
Vikings because the fucking Patriots blow cock.
The
Vikings
defense,
are coming
though.
up- I know, but the Vikings is coming off an ugly game that you would just assume that they're going to win this one. I'm sticking with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, he's going to prove everyone wrong on.
Matt Judon's gonna do what fucking Micah Parsons did, and so much more. It's gonna be disgusting.
He's not.
Lewis, I see
not.
that hand raised.
Thank you, sir. So, one of the things you always hear about the NFL, it's a week-to-week league, right? It's a week-to-week league. And I heard a stat today, so I had to look it up. And it's not 100% accurate anymore because this article I'm about to read it from is from 2021, but just stick with it. Teams that get fucked by 5 or more touchdowns like the Vikings did against the Cowboys, the following week are 64% against the spread. That article was published September 23rd, 2021. 63%. So you get embarrassed. So the trend in the NFL that you hear people say is you get embarrassed. More likely than not, the next week you're going to come out and, give your fucking all. Play hard.
Mm-hmm.
If you kick the shit out of somebody like the Cowboys did, maybe you're a little, you're overlooking the next team. You're going to say, yeah, we're going to beat these guys by 30, which they very easily could, like we said, against the Giants. But I don't know. It's just two schools of thought to think by. But there is a stat to back that up, which is why I will be playing the Vikings minus the 3.
I just think
I'm playing the Vikings as a play.
64%.
Well, I think the problem with that is the thinking behind it is, oh, they got embarrassed last week, so then their line gets discounted. But the Patriots also looked fucking awful last week. They owned Zach Wilson. They fucking took him out, robbed him of his lunch money, nearly put him out behind the shed and put him down like a sick dog, but didn't quite do that. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, no, but
Everyone
I don't
wishes
know.
he
I
did.
just think Kirk Cousins, he's Kirk O'Chains. He's the noon nightmare, late
Kirko
o'clock. I don't
Chains.
think so. So
Wait, can we talk about because you mentioned the Pats and since it's a Pats game, the Jets are like
dead.
I felt dead leaving the Giants game. If I was a Jet fan, and that is how first of all, that's how you lose, like to keep you away for first place, to break your streak against the Pats. That's how it happens. A fucking 85-yard punt return with no time left.
And a block in the back.
If I
And a
was
clear block
like,
in the back.
and like a clear block in the back, if I was like a serious Jet fan, like I am a Giant fan, I would be distraught. Like I legitimately would not know what to do with myself. To lose like that is, and to have your quarterback play like shit and then come out like a actual pussy after the game. Oh yeah, no, that wasn't my fault. Like
That's
you should be
fucking
on the
soft.
you should be on the bench for the rest of the year,
He's not playing this week.
and
He might.
he should be on the bench. Like you might as well roll out Joe Flacco or
They probably
or
will.
Mike White.
They're
You might as
going
well.
to. Zach Wilson's
You
done.
might as well.
I hope the Jets get Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo. I really
Jimmy
do.
G, I think would be perfect for the Jets.
Yeah, but
Perfect.
he's gonna sign long term. They're gonna get rid of Trey Lance. Trey Lance is just dead.
Nah.
If they win the Super Bowl this year, how can you move on?
Oh, 100%. I 100% agree with that part. But Trey
Well,
Lance
yeah,
ain't dead.
that's also like if you think no, because I think they have to get rid of Jimmy G because their cap situation now they have to pay McCaffrey's contract. I think they have a couple other guys coming up. Like I don't know if they're already paying Bosa. If not, he's one of the other guys coming up. Like they
Yeah,
probably
but
don't have the money. They don't have the money to keep Jimmy G. They need a cheap QB like Lance.
it's
on a
cash
contract
over
like
cap though. Like you don't have the salary cap isn't real. If you put all the money in escrow and pay it
Yeah.
up front, you don't have to like take a cap. It's ridiculous. And I don't know. I don't know who's the fucking Niners owner. Is that no Lynch is the GM.
John Lynch. John Lynch.
he was the
GM.
GM.
I don't know who the owner is.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jed
I
York.
don't know who the owner is.
Jed York.
Yeah, so I assume York's a fucking billionaire. He
He's a
owns the
Silicon
fucking-
Valley nerd.
Yeah, so he's gonna be able to front any amount of money he wants to pay anybody.
It's just so
But-
crazy how like so many people when Zach Wilson went down in that preseason game was like get Jimmy G on the phone ASAP. Like everyone said it too.
Mm.
And it's like and now Jimmy Garoppolo threw 4 touchdowns last night, which is the same amount Zach Wilson has all year.
Both New
That's
York
incredible.
teams went from here to yodelly dead. Both teams are dead.
You see, this is what this is what I like. This is what happens to Cowboys fans every year. They have a roller coaster. Then towards the end, it's going up and up and up, and you think they're gonna, and
And then they lose in the divisional.
then the roller coaster ride stops in the divisional round, and everybody goes home and back to reality.
But
But
technically,
this isn't.
Like,
But this is a different year.
Wait. I'm very close to like being on not the Cowboys fan side, but being like, no way, like this team can legitimately win. Like I think the Cowboys are so good, like they could probably legitimately make a Super Bowl run, like easy, like they could. But will it
Oh,
happen?
100%.
Like, do I believe it will happen? No, because in all the years that we've all been walking this planet, they never even reached the NFC Championship game. So
But
how
what if we
could
get?
we be?
But what if we get
how could we
Odell?
be so sure?
But what if we?
how could we-
What if we get Odell?
How could we be so sure?
This is the first time we've had 2 running backs like this, elite running backs.
Who gives a shit? What do you think? Every team that makes a run has 2 elite running backs. Like who's gonna?
We have 2 elite running backs. We have Micah Parsons,
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a beast.
stud muffin, and now we're about to get OBJ. Come on.
to the Jets point, I'm not ready to call them dead yet because while they will lose this week to the Bears, the coin, which is the only true metric anybody needs, has them going on a 5-game win streak before losing
Coin.
in week 18. So
Because you
if
wanna
they
know
win
who's gonna
5
take
straight,
over?
they'll be 11 and
It's crazy how they predicted
11
the
and
downfall
7?
of Zach Wilson too, because Zach Wilson will
did.
start next week. We'll get
lose to the
embarrassed,
Bears.
and then that's
Wait, what
when
did they predict?
the coin? Some dude tweeted a
No,
picture.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But what did they
he's 11
predict
and 0.
outside the wins and losses?
Nothing outside
What?
the wins and
No, he
losses.
did.
but they
I
have
thought-
I'm
to-
making a joke. I'm making
Oh.
a joke saying that he obviously predicted the downfall because they're going to lose to the Bears, and then they're going to replace Zach
Bench
Wilson
him.
on a 5-game win streak.
yeah. And then
So-
lose when they rest their starters in week 18.
And then they're going to make the AFC Championship game and lose.
Yeah.
That's what the coin says. And the coin's 11-0 so far. If you could tell me anyone else who's 11-0, because the coin had them winning the bye week, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants lost the bye week, by the way.
They got
point
murdered
is-
on the bye week.
Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate that.
All right, let's
do-
get into some.
I,
let's
wait,
get into some
I got
college
one. I got
football.
one quick thing. One quick thing. I got my QB special for Thanksgiving because, Thanksgiving is special. QBs are special. So I'm taking 3 overs and 3 unders for all the QBs passing yards. Allen's at 275.5. Goff is at 245.5. Daniel Jones 190.5. Dak at 242.5. Mac at 244.5. Kirk O'Chain's at 249.5. I mean. I'm telling you, I'm at 3 overs, 3 unders. If you had to guess, how am I allocating this? Which QBs am I going over?
DJ under, Mac under, Kirk O'Chain's under.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Lou?
Let me look really quick. But I have if you think the Giants are going to get fucked in the ass, which you might, reasonably so, Daniel Jones might just be throwing the ball in garbage time, picking up some yards. So if that is an underplay that you have, I would just say watch out for that. Not my bet though. So let me see everybody's numbers here. Probably Allen over, Goff under, DJ under, Dak over, Mac under, Kirk over.
None of you were right. You were close.
Damn.
2 of you were close. Picano and Tyler, you were. It is Josh Allen under, Goff over,
Wow.
Daniel Jones over,
Wow.
Dak over, Mac and Kirk under.
Wow.
I don't think
literally only
they're not
got
going to have to
one
throw
right.
the ball. They're going to be ahead so much they're just going to hand it off to Singletary to protect Allen. And then
So you
to
did
like
think of
what
these
you
things
said,
already.
yeah, no, they're going to have to throw the ball like they did last week, and he's going to throw for 300 yards.
Yeah,
So,
he threw for 350 yards, and that was his worst game of the season by far.
He threw, it was like 120 yards more than every other game he'd played.
And it was his worst game of the year by far. So quarterback passing yards, guess what kind of stat that is? Useless. Next.
All right, who wants to kick us off for college?
All right, I'll kick us off.
Tyler, yeah, you kick them off.
So last week I had TC Lou minus 2.5. They won. They did not cover. I should have taken the money line because it was under 3 points. I should have. I didn't. I took West Virginia plus 7.5, and they also didn't cover, which is sad. But then I go on a bit of a covering train here, which is Georgia, Kentucky under 49. Boy, do I look like a genius. That game was 16-6. UCLA plus 3 in the over 76. UCLA pushed, the over hit with ease. And then Oregon, Utah over 63. That ended up being a very low scoring game, which was surprising, even with Bo Nix playing. So not a great week for me. It was a 2-3-1. Oh no, yeah, 2 wins, 3 losses, 1 push. This week we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays. Holy cow! I'm gonna call this one the 3 for 10. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
The 3 for 10. We had UCLA, TC Lou, Ellis Lou, all of them minus 10. It's rivalry week. There's no breaks. There's no, no one takes time off in rivalry week. You try your hardest for 4 quarters. So we have all the minus 10. Easy as this. LSU again needs to win out if they want a chance at making it. So they're taking the minus 10. TC Lou needs to win out the chance to make it, taking the minus 10. UCLA, Dorian Thompson, whatever his name is, Robinson.
TCR.
Hysterically crying after the loss last week. I felt so bad for him. I was all over UCLA. They're going to come up, put up a big statement because he's upset. Then minus 10. Then I'm taking West Virginia, Oklahoma State over 64. Me and Lou watched a bit of the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma game last week.
Oh, God. I don't want to talk about that one.
And it was like 35 points scored in the first 7 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Not even that. I watched the West Virginia versus Kansas State game. I think they had like 60 points at halftime. Holy crap, did that team not play any defense at all? We're going over 64. And then the last game, we're taking a game that I never thought I would ever take. It is the Fightin' Irish plus 5.5 against USC.
They're hot. They're so hot.
Why? Because the Fightins are hot of the Irish. They're hot. They play insane defense.
letdown for UCS, USC.
Definitely a big
Letdown.
letdown game for USC,
Letdown.
and it's just one of those where it seems like Notre Dame really plays up to their opponents.
They always do.
Clemson, UNC. Well, not UNC anymore, but the two losses that those two teams had were only to Notre Dame. You know, Notre Dame.
They played Ohio State close beginning of the year.
They played Ohio State real close beginning of the year, and
did UNC? Did they lose this week?
Fuck yeah, they lost.
They got murdered. Don't worry though, they're
Yeah.
making the college football playoff.
Yeah.
I still am a believer that Bacano truly believes in his head that Texas will be the first 4-loss team in the college football.
They will be.
I truly believe Bacano believes that.
I do.
All right,
I'm gonna get into mine. Speaking of UNC, NC State. Give me the Tar Heels. Yeah, it is rivalry week. We all talked about it, but comeback game, man. Got to get it back. Got to get back after a bad loss to Georgia Tech. UNC is a good UNC. They're gonna throw the ball. Drake May's got to prove the Heisman. UNC, man, give it back. They got to prove to everyone they're gonna make the playoff. They're going to make it.
They're down to 18.
They're gonna make
Did
it.
they announce it?
I don't know what I'm looking at. I think I'm looking at this is the AP poll. This isn't.
Yeah, no, they did move down to 18. Yes. Florida FSU.
FSU.
Seminoles all day. Gators are dead. They've been dead. They lost to Vandy last week.
Yeah.
That was
Fucking
embarrassing.
Garbage.
Embarrassing. Now let's talk about ND-USC. I know, Tyler, I'm really scared now because I like USC. So I think you should be happy. I should be really scared. But Uncle Colin, Lou put in our group chat today on Twitter that Uncle Colin said that Caleb Williams is the next Patrick Mahomes.
He cursed him.
Gross.
Good comp. Good comp.
I can't tell if he cursed him or that's a fantastic comp.
That's a good comp.
I think it's a great comp.
Sorry, hold on. I'm just doing something. But he makes a really good point. That whole USC team is just like not very good outside of like Caleb Williams and 3 players. And they're the 5th ranked team in the nation.
Yeah.
Why?
100% agree.
They're playing for the playoff.
Yeah. No,
and they, it's not like the Pac-12 is bad, like UCLA, all those other Utah,
UCLA,
Oregon,
Utah, Washington is ranked. Oregon State's ranked. They have like 6.
And this guy's saying that they only have 2 or 3 draftable players on the whole team outside of Caleb Williams, like Jordan Addison and 1 guy on defense, and they're the 5th ranked team. That's like some Mahomes shit. That's some Mahomes shit.
You can argue that the Pac-12 has been better than the ACC and the Big 12 this year.
Do we?
100%.
Do you guys think?
I stand by that.
Do you think USC gets in over Michigan, Ohio State if unless regardless, or if there's a blowout or something?
I think regardless they get in over them. Just because of the strength of schedule wise, both of them really haven't had that test. You can argue Ohio State because they played Notre Dame, but Notre Dame plays USC this weekend. So if Ohio State I'm going to talk about that next, but if Ohio State magically loses this weekend, which I don't think they will, and USC beats Notre Dame, I would put USC over them just because of the win over Notre Dame. When Notre Dame was hot, when Notre Dame, is kind of proven where they want to be, and Ohio State in that game, they didn't play very well and they still pulled it out. So I like USC. I like them to make it also as that 4 spot. And then let's talk about the best game of the weekend. I personally believe Michigan, Ohio State. I love Ohio State this weekend. I think they're going to roll them. Blake Corum, I don't believe is playing. He sprained his knee late in the Illinois game.
I watched it. I was watching that live when he got hurt. It looked like he hurt himself pretty good. He came back, I believe, had 1 carry in the second half and then didn't play the rest of the game.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He had 1. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they have a shot if he's not in there. Their defense is good. J.J. McCarthy is one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks, and they thought he was the truth over there in Michigan. I just think Ohio State's got weapons. They got like 5 stars on the bench that are catching touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
What's
What are we
crazy
doing here?
What's crazy about that game is obviously both of these teams really haven't looked that amazing. Like Ohio
No.
State, for some reason, is playing all these incredibly close games, and then they end up blowing them out. But it's funny because your uncle, Uncle Colin, was saying that like he claims this was before last week though. He claims that Michigan, we've seen Michigan, the same Michigan team every quarter of every game. Every half of every game. You know, every quarter,
yeah.
every half of every game. Where Ohio State, they've had multiple games this year where they have a couple halves where they look horrible. But then they have a few halves where they look unstoppable. So Uncle Colin was saying that he thinks if Ohio State comes out in one of those halves where they just don't look good, they don't have a chance. Because he's saying Michigan every half is playing the same brand of football, no matter what.
I would agree with that. I think
guess
listen,
that's true. Yeah, because
They-
it's like, why are you playing a 3-point game to Maryland last week?
yeah. No, I 100% agree
But then
with
at the
that.
same
I think
time, Michigan should have lost that
played-
game.
Yeah,
they should have lost that game too. I
Again,
think
this
Michigan,
take
the
was-
only way they win is if Corum plays.
Yeah, I mean,
If
they
Corum
play the
plays, I
same
think they
brand
have
of
a better
football.
shot.
They play the same brand, but they can't do that if they don't have their best player. And
The
I mean,
problem
I
is
even
when-
said it last week. Like McCarthy sucks. He's not.
McCarthy
good.
does suck. He's
The
fucking
problem with
terrible.
Ohio State, and again, I've always liked Ohio State. I've never really liked Michigan, so I'm going to be rooting for Ohio State. Is just like they really haven't been getting it going on offense. Like the past 2 weeks, Marvin Harrison Jr. has not been doing anything, and then outside of him, everyone else isn't doing really anything.
Yeah, no.
Did have catch of the
No.
year, but
He did, but I'm just saying, like he's not doing his usual what he was doing early in the year. I don't know. It's almost like they slowed down a bit. Ohio State. It's weird, even though they're still putting up 30s.
it was
like,
ahead. Look ahead.
It's their running backs are doing shit.
No, I
don't know.
100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I also think that it's impressive that they're doing this without arguably one of the best players in the country in Jackson Smith-Njigba. And think about it next year. They're not going to have CJ Stroud, but they're probably going to have Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jackson Smith-Njigba. So that's
And
pretty,
Drake May.
That's pretty. And Drake May. I'm pretty adamant about that Drake May will be a Buckeye next year. Onto your picks, Lou.
Me or Alex?
You go for it.
Either one.
I'll kick us off for NFL.
All right, that's cool. Just so let me put this shit up. Let's recap last week. Baylor plus 2.5, check. Baylor money line, X. Fuck TCU. Kansas plus 9 was a big no. They were down like fucking, I don't even know, like 40-0 at one point. Like it was a disaster. It was a disaster from the beginning.
Like that's
And
the
that's
Kansas
just-
team we're
That's
used.
one of those SEC, non-SEC, Texas SEC.
No, Texas is big. Those are two
Big
Big 12
12
teams, brother.
Oh, okay. Settle down, everybody. Keep it together here. But
That's
Texas,
just-
they're a football school. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Kansas, as much as I love them, I'm taking them again this week. As much as I love them, they're not a football school. They were outmatched, outclassed. USC money line. W. Whatever Alabama spread was, that was my pick. It
I don't think they had a
closed.
spread.
They closed.
They
I
ended
saw.
up having one of in like the 30s, maybe or 40s.
No. It was in the at least the number I saw was minus 45.5. They only
Yeah.
won 34-0,
Yeah,
and they were
looked
only
like
up
crap.
They were only up 17-0 at the
Whoa!
half. To
What?
Austin P.
Sorry, keep going.
What
They
is
were
it?
only up
Pacano? Just say it.
But kind of wait, what
Oh,
happened?
the
That was-
playoff.
The playoff is Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan
Oh.
3, TCU 4, LSU 5,
Oh.
USC 6. USC doesn't stand a chance. That's fucking
Well,
bullshit.
that's why LSU were taking the -10 this week.
Yeah, they have
All right,
to,
we're
and they're
good.
playing A&M.
No, you guys are good.
LSU, yeah, well, you can keep going.
But yeah, those were the picks last week. 2 and 3 college football. Chop it up, not great, whatever. On to this week, I agree with Pacano. Ohio State -7.5. When you don't know what to do or you have questions, go back to your roots. Bet Ohio State versus everybody else in the Big Ten against the spread, and you will make some money. I'm also going to go to the overs club here. Ohio State's defense isn't very good. I wouldn't be surprised to see this game go like 24-20 and it be way under, and Ohio State doesn't hit. But I think if I'm taking the -7.5, I'm probably betting on Ohio State to get to like 30, 35 points. And in that case, you need 21 points from Michigan to hit this over. So I think Ohio State probably puts up around 35, maybe 40, and you get, 20 or something from Michigan, and, that could hit that over.
Where's
then-
where's the game? At Ohio State or Michigan?
Yeah,
at
it's in the
Ohio
shoe.
State.
It's in the shoe. It's in the shoe. It's in the shoe.
All right.
So we're going Ohio State spread and the over. Tulane +2 against Cincinnati. Can't get enough of this conference. Absolutely to die for. Cincinnati's not a real team. That's just the conclusion I've come to. They're not a real team. Tulane is real. Moving on. Kansas +11.5. Still America's sweetheart. A great against the number. Still a great team against the number. They, flutter in a little bit lately. Win one, lose one. Get fucking destroyed against Texas, but I think they bounce back here. This is a rivalry game. Kansas State. They give me 11.5 points rivalry game. No doubter. And then my last play, Kentucky money line versus Louisville. Louisville is also a fake team. They're just a fake team. Malik Cunningham is a fake. Malik Cunningham is a fake quarterback. He's good at home.
Literally Lamar
And he-
Jackson.
And he's not good on the road. Kentucky money line.
They've won what, like three
That's like-
straight against good teams, haven't they?
Yeah, they beat NC State, but NC State's no good on the road.
They
If
played
you were
real
a real
tough against.
If you were a real college football fan, you would know NC State is no good on the road. No good.
No, 0.
0% good. So Kentucky money line at home against Louisville. That honestly looks like 4-1. I'm probably gonna lose a game in picking Ohio State or the over. One of them is gonna lose. Everything else is a winner. So guaranteed 4-1 or better,
All right.
or guaranteed 4-1.
All right. Hopping into mine, I went 7-4 as a whole last week.
Yeah.
Not bad. Akron, Buffalo got delayed or got canceled, so not ideal. But yeah, Georgia, Minnesota, the Vikings, Minnesota, and UConn sold on me. TCU, they won. I mean, there's not much you can do. Should have taken the money line. But yeah, every other game smashed. Illinois almost outright winners. UMass, Clemson, LSU, Commanders covered with ease. Bills, Brown, nice little shootout. Gotta love that for the over. And of course, Titans outright. And Wake Forest covered, but I stayed away. It hurt my soul. So this week, I'm surprised nobody else talked about this game. The first game, it is the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving. Ole Miss and Mississippi
Ole
State.
Miss and Mississippi. Those are always good games, aren't they?
They're always good games, and this one especially has been.
There's always some controversy behind them too.
There's always, and no different this year. Everybody's talking about Lane Kiffin getting out at Ole Miss. I think they're checked out. They're done. They just had like a players meeting with Kiffin. And he's like, "Oh, I haven't accepted an offer somewhere else." Bullshit, Lane. We know you're going to Auburn.
Right?
Yeah, they got blown out last week. They haven't looked good. I've talked before on the pod about how much I liked Will Rogers. He was doing really well. Thought he might be in Heisman contention, and then Mississippi State, they kind of lost a few games. I think Mississippi State should be able to win this one. I'm going to take their money line. Originally, I wasn't. But yeah, give me their money line. The spread's 2.5, so a little bit of juice on the money line. I also do like the over at 59. I think both those teams can put up some points and let up some points. So give me that. Next pick, a personal bias and a revenge bet all in one. Give me UMass +20 at home versus Army, because Army beat UConn last week and covered the spread. So, it's obviously revenge tour against Army. Next, the hottest coach in the SEC right now is Cadillac Williams at Auburn. I'll take the War Eagle +22 at him.
Here to stay, they say. Cadillac Williams here to stay.
Honestly, maybe
War
that's why
Eagle.
Lane Kiffin hasn't accepted an offer, because Cadillac Williams is staying. He's too good. Next, give me Oregon -3 against Oregon State. They're just the better team. They should win. I'm going to hop back on the Wake Forest train, -3.5. They're playing Duke at home. So, yeah, I mean, they covered last week. They're back to their covering ways, the slow mesh. I'll take it. Tyler mentioned these two. TCU -10, hammer the Froggies. They they have to continue to prove that they deserve to be in the playoff. And it's the same with LSU -10. I liked it before. I even like it better now because they are in the spot where one of Ohio State and Michigan has to lose. They're sitting at that 5 spot. You have to murder A&M this week because A&M sucks. And if you come out and you smack them in the mouth, and you should be able to get in over whoever loses that last game. And then finally, I'm taking Pitt -6.5 because fade Miami. Miami sucks.
Love that.
Problem.
A classic 8-pick slate for me. I don't know why. I'm just an
I'm
8
surprised no one rode
No.
Spencer
You got
Rattler
2
against
underdogs
Clemson.
in there, 3 underdogs. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Spencer
some
Rattler,
dogs.
fuck Spencer Rattler.
He's a
Fuck
fraud.
Spencer Rattler.
Dude threw 6 touchdowns against Bacano's Heisman.
No, not my Heisman.
My Heisman's Caleb Williams. I didn't know that guy was so like he's that good. 30 touchdowns, like 2 picks. Are you kidding me?
Lou just needed to hear someone say Patrick Mahomes, and he was sold.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The guy has 30 touchdowns and 3 picks. That's what I needed to hear. Who else has that? Who else
Drake
has
May.
that?
How do you not?
Drake May has exact
May?
stats. Yes.
Okay, so them 2 are probably the 2 front runners for the Heisman. Why is CJ Stroud a front runner? What has he done?
Nothing.
Does he have 30 touchdowns? Does he have 30 touchdowns and 3 picks?
I think he has 30 touchdowns and 4 picks.
Not 3. So,
But he plays on the.
It's
number
all
2
about
team in
what
the
you
country.
have done for me. It's
He's
all
a
about
loser.
what you have done for me lately.
True.
And Caleb Williams has done a lot more for me lately than the other guys. Wait, let's see this stat.
Hey, Alexander, are you doing the turnaround today?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into NFL as soon as Picano gets us his stat that he's looking at.
Oh no. I tried to see if it was any better, but no, all 3 of them have the same stats. Still have like 30 plus touchdowns and 3 or 4 picks.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna hop into NFL. My first pick, totally unbiased. This is a strictly the rules bet. It is Bears money line against the Jets because the coin has the Bears winning, and so they're 4.5-point dogs. Hammer the Bears. Jets are dead.
coins don't lie.
Coins don't lie. I wasn't gonna take this originally, but I think Lou has kind of convinced me. Give me the Falcons +4 at the Commanders this week, because with them playing the Giants for 3 weeks, basically, maybe a little bit of a look ahead. Playing the Falcons.
They don't need
Falcons
to. They don't
suck.
need to look ahead.
But you think about if but they could, and they can start. They're like already in this Giants mentality. Falcons have played every team close. I like the 4. I don't hate it regardless.
that bet.
So I'll take it for the potential of a look ahead. Give me the Seahawks -3.5 at home against the Raiders. It's just respectful, honestly. I can't fathom it. Off of a bye, like the Raiders are just fraudulent. They're garbage. Get them out of my sight.
Seahawks off a bye?
Yeah, they played in fucking Germany 2 weeks ago. They get the bye.
Okay.
So yeah, and they got the 12th man. Like, come on now, fuck the Raiders.
12 man, true.
Exactly. Let's see. What else? The Eagles. I'll take the Eagles -7 at home against the Packers. Packers are dead. And I'll take Colts -2.5 at home against the Steelers on Monday Night Football.
Mike Tomlin is a dog. Look out. Not one of my picks, but look out.
Yeah, look out for that one.
Here we go.
Was he not a dog last week and lost?
All right, Tyler, you got all the fucking answers. Why don't you go, buddy? How about you go? No, Tyler, you go ahead. No, Tyler, you go ahead, buddy. You make your picks. Make your fucking picks.
Why are you so angry?
No, I'm not angry.
You're twirling that
Make your
charger
fucking
around like you're
picks.
pissed.
Make it. I've been twirling around this thing for fucking 2 minutes now. If you've been paying attention.
I don't have any picks. My picks were the
Oh
Thanksgiving.
shit. Oh shit.
You only take Thanksgiving?
And Packers +7.
All right.
That's a bad thing.
And whatever Lou's on, I'm doubling it.
Couple down.
Lou, you,
All right.
Lou, you can go.
I'm taking the Jets money line. No, I'm just
I'll take the Bears too because the coin isn't wrong.
I can't lie. I mean,
That's
the
okay.
Bears have been playing well. The Bears have played good football. It is
They just lose
conceivable
every
that
game by 3.
it's wild how they just managed to blow everything.
Big Cat
But they
says
want to lose.
that Justin Fields plays just good enough to show that he's a potential star, but but bad enough that they still lose to make sure they get a good pick.
That's what I mean. They want to lose, but like, if you guys, I don't know if you guys listen to Part of My Take, but I always listen on Mondays because that's the best show when they recap all the games. And it's like at some point you have to win a game so that team just doesn't like hate themselves. And Justin Fields is only known as a loser. Like that's all he knows. Then next year he won't know how to win. So this is the game that you have to win.
That makes sense.
Coin.
For the coin.
The coin. Do you guys hear my mom yelling at my dog?
No. Can we
Alright,
get her on the pod?
No, it's
Your dog or
it's
your
not.
mom?
Both.
No, it's my dog. It's my dog.
Alex said he wants to get your dog on the pod.
Oh shit! Chill. All right, my picks really quick. I already said 3 of them: Vikings, Giants, Buffalo, Thanksgiving, all spread. Then I'm gonna go down to Tennessee. Down to Tennessee with Mike Vrabel and Derrick Henry, plus 1.5 dogs against Cincinnati Bengals. Look, man, I don't bet on the Bengals. It's just that ain't me. All right, that ain't me. I don't bet. Oh my God, that ain't me. All right, I'm with the
You
tough
hate
guys.
Joe Burrow.
No. Just listen to me. I'm with the tough guys. I'm with Mike Vrabel. I'm with Derrick Henry. I'm with defense. I'm with that kind of shit, as opposed to
not in the pretty
as opposed to oh, Joe Burrow looks cool today. Not because I have sunglasses on. I do this for the show to have some style. That guy's a fucking bag. You gotta cut that. You gotta cut that because you can't say that.
We can.
Listen, I don't like Joe Burrow. This is I love Mike Vrabel. I hate Joe Burrow. Tennessee plus 1.5.
Tampa. Lou might be jealous of Joe Burrow.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
Burr.
very jealous of him. He won me fucking $1,000 on the Super Bowl. He should be jealous of me.
Cartier glasses won't even Pikachu.
Exactly. Let's go to the next pick. Tampa -3 at Cleveland. Cleveland sucks. Okay, Cleveland's just a bad football team. What are they? 3-7, 4-7. Tampa's turning it around. Call it Tampa in Cleveland -3. That's like I think that might be the easiest pick on the board.
Isn't Deshaun Watson back this week, or am I bugging?
No, you're bugging.
Oh, it's next week.
So I think it's 2 weeks
Yeah,
technically because they're on the
2
bye
weeks.
next week. They're on the bye next week, I think.
Then yeah, whatever the next game is.
Oh no, maybe it is. It is next week. My bad. I'm tripping.
Going to my next game, another team I don't particularly like, the Seattle Seahawks. We're fading them as well. Oakland Raiders. Why? Because I agree this line makes absolutely no sense. Why are they only 3.5-point dogs? I don't know. That's why I'm taking it. And because I don't like the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
So the Seahawks is at like
12. Man.
Not Picano.
Well,
Alec, I'm surprised this wasn't one of your picks. You were the one who put me onto it. So thank you in advance. Houston plus the 13 against Miami. Coming off a bye, I think you said they have some big games coming up, Miami. You take Houston here, maybe you get Miami looking ahead. And Houston, like I said before, they don't get blown out though. Like they lost,
I guess they're just like they're so bad.
I had them last week against against Washington. They had no chance to cover the 3.5 from the start of the game. It was fucking over. But this isn't 3 points. This is 13. They would have covered that last week. So, hopefully they just don't get killed. This is the NFL, not college. Don't get embarrassed. That's the play. Plus 13.
I don't know how
so
I missed that one. I
think that's 7. I just went like this for 7. I think that's 7 picks for this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 7. Looking to go 7 now. Picano. No. Yeah,
I'm sticking with all my Thanksgiving games. Those are my 3.
You're not gonna take a fucking single weekend game, you coward.
Oh, relax. Bills,
say?
Cowboys, Pats.
Gotta sprinkle in Miami money line.
I like the Bears too.
Why aren't you sprinkling Miami money?
Because that's my favorite.
Just a sprinkle.
It's just a sprinkle on the money line. Don't you think you're gonna win?
And then I also like the Eagles.
But Lou doesn't think they cover, so that's why you should just do the money line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, give me Miami.
Oh, Bacana. Bacana.
Oh, Jesus.
GC, man. GC for short.
Oh, my
All right.
God.
Well,
I'm good. Those are mine.
if that's it, then let's wrap this up. We've had a fantastic episode, a long episode, but
Great
it's your
episode.
little Thanksgiving special. Shout out to Brett again for hopping on, giving
Thank you,
us the
Brett.
footy picks.
Thank
The
you,
resident
Brett.
Thank you, Brett. But
Brett
yeah,
came over from right over the pond.
crossed the pond just for laying the points. It's wild. But yeah, thank you folks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.